Welcome to the Let's Get Cozy Book Club podcast. This week, we are chatting about our initial thoughts on The King's Promise by Christine Kannapel. So grab a blanket, a warm beverage, and cozy.
Hey everybody. How
Hello,
we
hello.
doing?
Happy Gemini season.
It is. Yes. Was
Are
it
you
is it
feeling
full
it?
moon tonight or tomorrow night?
I think it is today. Yes.
Oh, full moon today, Gemini season. Yeah, I feel it. It's summer in Chicago. It's great.
Has it been pretty warm by you?
Yeah, it has. It's been nice. We had a wedding, Corey and Sam's wedding last weekend, which was in like the Chicago suburbs. And it was lovely and they had good weather. And so yeah, it's been nice. And then I've been doing more marathon training. So I've been getting out there, ran 8 miles this morning, and I'm
Whoop, whoop.
feeling good. So excited to do this every weekend for the next 4 months plus. It's a lot, but it's good. Yeah. How are you doing? What have you been up to?
I've been good. This yesterday I went to Thirst Bookstore because the author of this book, Christine, she was there doing a book signing. So
Fun.
Lily and mom and dad came,
Oh, they
and
did.
yes, they all joined. Mom got a copy of
Okay.
the book. She got a
Oh,
signed copy. Lily did
nice.
too. Yeah, so
Oh,
it was
I wish my
fun.
copy was signed. Kind of jealous. That sounds fun. I didn't know that's what you guys were doing. Mom just like mentioned that you guys were going somewhere, but didn't clarify. But that's
It
fun.
was very unplanned. They wanted to see me, and I was like, "Well, I'm going to be at this bookstore at this time," and they're like, "Okay, we'll be there." And I was like, "Great."
So fun. Love
It was
that.
perfect. Yes.
Love that. Cool. I wanted to talk about before we jump into the book. I watched the end of Margo's Got Money Troubles, the finale, and I'll tell you my thoughts, but I'm curious about your thoughts. The like weird courtroom
Judge.
judge drama was like
He
really
was like running around the
I
courtroom. I'm like,
couldn't
"Is
like
this
watch
what
it.
happens?" I'm like, "What
No,
is this?"
not at
He's
all.
like
I was
on
like,
like cocaine. What
this
is
is
happening?
insane. Yeah, it was super weird. I didn't like it. I usually don't like watching like courtroom drama shows, but like that was especially like weird and bad, it felt like. So I really liked the book like a lot better than the show. I feel like the show was just I don't know. They changed a lot of things, I feel like, from the book. And yeah, it was different. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the finale?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It didn't seem. I don't know. It wasn't very fun. I think they tried to make it more exciting because like it didn't go to court in the book, and they
Right.
added that, and so it was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's going to be a next season because it ends with Margo texting or messaging JB,
Right.
which I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so he hasn't come into play yet, and that's what season two I
Yeah. I
suppose
don't
would
know.
be.
Is the author writing a second book?
That I don't know. I didn't look into that.
Well, we'll find out, I guess. But yeah,
But
it was interesting. This was one where I liked the book. Or do people usually like the book better than the show and movies? I don't know.
I think it depends. Depends on
Yeah.
how they do it.
Yeah. So that was one where I was more fond of the book.
Yeah, same.
Okay, should we get into it?
Oh,
Or do
well,
you have something else?
I did. I want to ask about your birthday. Do you have any birthday plans yet?
No, I don't have
Well,
any
that's why
birthday
you took that
plans.
out. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. All right, fine. All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I read up to a page 147. What about you, Liza?
Same. I read up to page 147, and Lily did not read anything, so that's why she is not here today. I gave her the book yesterday, so she will get caught up by next episode.
I challenged myself to read as far as you. and I did
Oh,
it.
so you saw
So
how far I got and you're like,
feeling
okay.
competitive. Yeah, and I did that yesterday and this morning a little bit. So yeah, we're all caught up. I'm going to do the recap for everybody. So Cassandra is the princess of Salts and has an arranged marriage with Henry, who's the prince of Linder Servia. She leaves her family to marry the prince, and on the night of their wedding, the prince's mother, the queen, dies. Henry blames Cassandra for distracting him because he missed spending those last few moments with his mother. Cassandra is distraught that Henry is so upset with her, but we later find out that she is pregnant with his child. Henry doesn't want anything to do with her, so he leaves to fight a battle in one of the borderlands where the rebels are revolting. But behind his back, his brother, Philip, is conspiring to claim the crown because their father, the king, is mad and won't be able to rule the kingdom much longer. And it's possible that Henry might have some of the madness inside him too.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on.
There is a lot happening. There's a lot of like political scheming,
Yes, lots of
court
scheming. Mm-hmm.
drama,
Mm-hmm.
and yes, a lot of characters, a lot happening.
Yes. Yeah, so we're going to do our best to explain it because, yeah. But luckily, which something that I love, is that the book starts with a map, which is my favorite. So
Mm.
we have a map of the lands of Valinder Servia, and I should have
Salts.
worked on pronouncing some of these names before we started. Salts, and there's like Hordaland and Mudden, and
Yes.
there's an island as well, which
Island
we'll
of
get
Joan.
into. And there's another island, San
Yes.
Chris something.
Yes.
San
Christia.
Christria. Yes.
Yes.
So we will get into all of that, but yeah, so far I'm liking the book. Love that it starts with the map. It's very like medieval with like some kind of like magical elements. Not quite like I don't know if I'd go as far as like magical, but there's like fountains that are like doing cool things and
Tapestries.
the tapestries and like I don't know, there's like a curse or like the kings are like all mad and like that kind of thing. So it's fun and like there's really good imagery, I think, and there's like a little bit of mystery. So we're kind of learning like the history of Linder Servia and everything like that, like as we go along. So it's fun. And it reminds me of this video game that I play called Manor Lords.
Oh, what is the I don't know what this video game is.
It's essentially where you are building. It's like The Sims, but like medieval. So you're building like
A
little
castle?
towns, like and well, you assign people to do things. So like some
Mm.
people are building the castle, some people are like farming, some people are like making like clothing, some people are hunting and like gathering food. So you're just like in charge of all these people and like have to make sure like the town is like running and it's really fun. And then like little like armies will come and try to like take you over and you have to like fight back and like raise an army and stuff.
Oh.
So yeah, I'm curious if the author has played Manor Lords, so I'm gonna ask her next time when she's on. But yeah, so I'm liking it so far. What about you?
Same. I like the medieval vibes. It's giving me like Fiona Shrek. Not like exactly, but like that's like kind of like the clothes and the vibes that I'm like picturing. And while I was thinking of that, I'm like, Lydia should be that for Halloween. She should be Fiona. Kyle should be Shrek. And Loki should be Donkey.
That
Because
would be funny.
you've never done that.
We have not. That's so true. Maybe.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. It's a good
So
idea.
I already helped you out. Got your
Thanks.
Halloween costume figured out.
Great. Thanks for that. Okay. So we start where we meet like the three main characters as as children. So Henry and his brother Philip, they're like kids at the time, go and meet Cassandra, who is the princess of Salt. And they're like, their families are like, we're gonna see if like one of the brothers is like into the princess so that we could have like a marriage alliance, like when they get older, kind of thing.
Yes.
Um, and so we meet Cassandra. She's the princess at the time. She's the princess of Salt at the time. Her father is dead, so her mom is ruling Salt, but she's ill, and her younger brother, Cassandra's younger brother, is also like very sickly. Um,
Yeah. So mom was like pregnant with him at the time of this meeting.
yes. Yeah, and then we meet Henry as a child as well. So he's like he's next in line to be king. He's kind of moody and like he's just kind of a weird kid. I don't know.
Yeah. So Philip is mean to Cassandra because like Philip's mean to everyone. He just like
He's like a little brat. He's the younger brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like Henry feels bad for Cassandra, so he like befriends her.
Yes.
And so like they kind of like each other. They like reading books and being in the library. And then like Henry sees these tapestries and he becomes like obsessed. And he like withdraws and like doesn't want to hang out with Cassandra anymore and just like lets her hang out with his mean brother.
Yes.
While he like stares at the tapestries. So this is like when his obsession with the tapestries and thinking there's like a hidden meaning in them begins.
Yeah, he's like wants to know what the history is behind them. There's like 4 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Cassandra is like familiar with them because they belong to Salt. Like they're like the Saltians' history through these tapestries is my understanding. So she's like, oh yeah, like I know the stories behind these kind of thing. And he's like, okay, well,
he was like making them up.
I want them. They're mine. Yeah. She's like, you can't have them. And then he ends up taking them. So
he does.
Yeah. And then Philip, the little brother, is just evil and like hangs her like doll, like cuts its head off and like hangs the doll like out the window or something.
He's like such little brother vibes that it's hilarious. I'm like, yep, that is a little boy.
Yes. So then we cut to the wedding alliance. So they're old enough now. Henry and like Cassandra have been like sending letters to each other. And then like in Henry's last letter, he's like, I feel like our souls, what's the line? Like our souls are like intertwined.
Between our souls, there is an undeniable understanding.
Yes. And Cassandra's like, absolutely. Like, I agree. So she has to go to Linda Serbia, go to the capital to marry Henry.
Yes. Leaves her family, never's left home before.
Yep. So yes, the goodbyes are kind of sad, but she knows what she must do because she's going to be queen. So, you know.
Yes. She was bred for this. And then her like, okay, all right. So then this brings in a new character. His name is Richard Cunningham, which he's very cunning. Get the last name Cunningham. Cunningham. Okay, anyways. So he is like a diplomat for Linda Servia. So he's come to Salts to like teach Cassandra like how to speak the language, like the customs, like help train her to become queen. And so he's kind of like this in between, I don't know, like a broker basically. And he's like mediating this marriage alliance. Yeah. Like making sure everything flows smoothly. Like he takes her from Salts to Linda Servia. And he is also a pot stirrer. So we come to find out that he is trying, I guess I don't know if he wants the throne, but he wants to stop the king from being the king of the throne.
Yeah, so he's got other plans. Like he is trying to undermine like Henry and the current king, and yeah, we could dive into it a little later. But yeah, so he's like, and like Anthony, like Cassandra's brother, before she leaves, she's like, I don't trust this guy. Like, be careful with him, which was like kind of a sweet moment because he was like on his deathbed and was like ill. Family's so ill. There's a lot of ill people, which I guess makes sense. It was the times. But yeah, so and then on the way to Linder Servia, Richard tells Cassandra like some secrets. And she's like, okay. So the first one is that like Richard's like, okay, the king is mad and he like doesn't have much longer and there's like a lot of like unrest. So like you might see that like on the way into town if people aren't like hooping and hollering for your arrival. So just like know that
Keep
you
an eye
need to
out.
like you need to like be a hero for these people kind of thing and like make sure like people love you. And she's like, okay, that's kind of helpful. Thanks. And then he also tells her that the queen, the current queen, has these bastard children who are living on the Isle of Joan.
Mhm.
And Henry, her betrothed, doesn't know about this. And she was just kind of like, why are you telling me this? Like, I'm going to obviously tell Henry, like, the minute I see him. And he was like, you should probably keep that secret to yourself.
He was like, you never know when you might need leverage over your
Yeah, or like a little
husband.
information. And she's like, okay, that seems like a great sign. So yeah, so then they finally make it to the capital and she learns that she is getting married that night.
Yes. She says hello and then is immediately whisked off to get ready to get married because the queen is on her deathbed and is going to die at any moment. And if she dies, it's like the 6-month mourning period, and they wouldn't be able to get married for 6 months, basically. And so they
Yeah.
want to make sure that this alliance happens like pronto. So, like,
Yes.
they're not wasting any time.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah. So then this introduces a new cast of characters. We
meet the whole family.
the whole royal court, basically. We start with Dad. He's the king. He doesn't seem like that mad or that crazy. He just kind of seems like sad and like emotional because his wife is dying. Which is, he's like emotionally unstable or like a little fragile, which is fair because of, the situation. We're also kind of learning that like the country is like also in a similar fragile state. There's a lot of like unrest with the people, they're unhappy, and like the financial status is not good. So Cassandra's coming into like a not great situation.
Not good. Yeah. Yes. So the queen is on her deathbed. Like with her dying breath, she decides to tell Henry about her bastard children on the Isle of Joan. And Henry's like, why did you tell me this? Like, I'd rather you didn't. So what we thought that like Henry didn't know, she tells him. So there's that. And then we also meet cousin Louisa, who is just a cousin. I forgot how. I think it's her dad's sister's daughter, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Philippa. I think there's a Philippa.
No, the queen is Philippa.
Oh,
Because her son is Philip, so she named her son after herself. Philippa and Philip.
wait, that's funny. I love that. It's pretty good. And then we also meet Jared, who is Henry's advisor and like tutor, and like tutored him growing up, and like they're like really good friends, and like Henry sees Jared as like kind of like an older brother or like a mentor, like kind of figure. And yeah, Jared's like a little suspicious to me. I don't like how he got in this position and why he's like so trusted, and he like kind of just like introduces himself to Cassandra like in her room, and everyone's like, what are you doing here? And yeah, he just kind of inserts himself like a lot. So I don't know, I'm a little suspicious of him.
Yes, and so I kept getting him and Cunningham, like his brother Cunningham, mixed up. I kept like thinking they were the same person, but I'm like, no, they're brothers. Jared and Richard are brothers.
Wait,
and
they
so,
are?
Yeah, because Jared says that, okay, he tells Cassandra that on the Isle of Joan, the children there are known as the Cunningham children, and because they're his brother's children. So
Oh,
like
so Jared, so are they Richard's children?
that's what my guess is. I don't know
Oh,
if there how many other Cunningham men there are, but that would make sense, right? Because
because
Richard Cunningham is
yeah.
kind of a diplomat, and so is Jared. They're both
And
kind
he's
of
trying to
diplomat.
like get the king out of there, so I bet he wants to get his children like in
He could
line for
be,
the throne.
yes, that could be part of what's happening. But we don't know. It has not
We don't
exactly
know.
been disclosed who the Cunningham father is, but it's not Jared. I mean, it could
It's
technically be Jared, but probably not.
yeah. Yeah, so he tells Cassandra this. She's like, "Oh, I already know this." And he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to the Isle of
I'm just
Joan.
peace out. Like
I'm
y'all
gonna go over
mourn.
there now and like we'll see you later." And she's like, "Okay, bye."
Well, and the prince
Um,
kind of wants to get rid of him too. He's like, "You're like up in my business, brah. Get out of here." He's
yeah,
like,
Henry's like, because Jared's really trying to insert himself, and he's like, "Yeah." And Henry's like, "I'm annoyed with you. I'm gonna do what I want. Like, you go to Joan, Isle of Joan."
yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, fine." So that's where Jared's headed. We also meet Lady Vanderburgh, and she is like the strict, like, I don't know, she's called the confidant, but she's kind of like the woman in charge of like etiquette at the court. She's very annoying, and she makes sure that everyone follows the rules and is dressed properly. And she and Cassandra are kind of like getting into it a little bit. And yeah, she's kind of mean. And like, she's kind of like suspicious too. Like, she might be like a spy. Like, Cassandra thinks she's suspicious, that she's like spying on her. So she tries to be like good in front of her. And then we also meet Vivian. Why don't you talk about Vivian and Philip a little bit?
All right. So Vivian is Philip's lover. They're like, okay. So Vivian, she is the Duchess of Mudden. So I think she was the former Queen of Mudden, but once Linda Servia conquered their lands, she got like demoted, and so she's just like the
And
Duchess
they like
now.
made her go live in Linder Servia so they could like keep an eye on her.
Yes. And so she's like very wealthy, and she wants the throne back. And she thinks she can do that by making an alliance with Philip and having his child. And yeah, so she's kind of like mean and jealous of Cassandra because like Philip thinks Cassandra's like beautiful. He's like, why didn't I get her? I want to marry her. And so that's like one ding against Cassandra. And then also, I mean, Cassandra's also going to be the queen, and that's what Vivian wants. So
Yeah.
she's trying to take Cassandra out. And she's like obsessed with chocolate. She was just like, just give me some chocolate and I'll say yes.
Well, she's pregnant.
That's pretty hilarious.
So then we learn that she's pregnant too with Philip's child out of wedlock. So stay tuned on that. So yeah, there's a lot going on. So that's all the people, I think, for now. And then so Henry and Cassandra get married that evening. Like the day she gets there, he's like kind of awkward and like quiet and like won't talk to her, and they won't dance. I was kind of like sad about the wedding. I was like, oh, it's like not very happy because it's like in like they're
His
doing
mom
it
is
so
dying.
like rushed, and like mom is dying, so everyone's just like kind of sad. And then at the end of the night, they consummate the marriage, and sparks kind of fly. I don't know. It's a euphemism. I think everyone knows what that means, but whatever. And they were like kind of into each other. Like they, you know, were like cuddling and like talking, and like Henry was like apologizing for how he like withdrew when they were children and was like obsessed with the tapestries, and she's like, oh, it's okay. And then like immediately like someone bangs on the door and is like, the queen's dead. And so the queen is dead, and Henry is so upset and like basically blames Cassandra and is like, you distracted me, I should have been with my mom, like even though it was their wedding night. And he said some hurtful things.
Yes. And then, so like any bit of like flame that was between them is like completely extinguished. And like Henry just like gives Cassandra the cold shoulder and like just avoids her like the plague for the next few months. And Cassandra, I think, is hilarious because she's just like laying on the couch, like, oh, what was me? Henry doesn't
Yeah.
love me anymore.
Yeah, she's
And
like
she's like
obsessed with him.
super dramatic and hilarious. But she's also like 18, so like I kind of get it.
Yeah. Yeah, she like yeah, they don't talk for like a long time. But she's like loyal to him. She's like mad at him, but she's like not like, screw Henry. She's just like, I'll get it back. Like we'll work on this kind of thing. Is like kind of how I see her more. Like she's not like leaving or giving up. Yeah, so then we learn a little bit more about the like the scheming and like the coup that's forming. So like Richard, Vivian, and Philip, we learn are like working together.
Yeah, so basically, Vivian is going to fund it. She's got the money. She's like, I will pay you whatever as long as I'm queen.
Yeah, Philip's like, I need to get my brother's like blessing. Like we need to get married, right? Because like if
She's
you want to be
pregnant.
queen, like
We need to have
be
our
married, and then
so
our
the child is not a bastard.
Yeah, so then our child will be like in line for
Legitimate.
the throne. And then yeah, and Richard's like, yes, I want to help you guys make this happen. We don't really know why yet. Like he's like so like wanting this to happen. And Philip's like, let's just like kill Henry. And Richard's like, let's not. Like
That was hilarious. Like, let's just kill him.
Wait. Yeah. Should like wait a little bit, like wait till like he's actually king, and then like we'll figure it out from there. And they're like, okay, fine. So while this is happening, Henry is like, I'm gonna leave. I need to get out of here.
He's
There's
depressed.
unrest.
He's like needs some space to like reset, and so he goes to war. There's the neighboring king. Well, one of their like lands that they conquered is like trying to
Portland. Yeah, they're like there's a lot of unrest there. People are upset and they're like trying to like gain like they're fighting and there's like
they're trying to get the freedom back. And
yeah. Yes. So then like kind of peppered through the story is like the history of Linder Servia and like the King's Promise. So we start with learning about like the island of Sancastria, which is the motherland where everyone was like super happy there. There was like a lot of food and like people were thriving. And then Hordaland and Muddin, this other like the neighboring like areas were like super jealous and like started raiding the island. And the people on Sancastria were so upset, and Edward, who was in charge of Sancastria, I think he was the king, decides like, you know what, I'm gonna find us a new place, like a new continent to call home, so that people stop like raiding us, and we'll get some new land. And so then Edward takes like an army from Sancastria to like the mainland. And then rather than finding this continent, he's like, I'm just gonna plant my flag and call myself king of everything and conquer like Hordaland and Muddin, and then called it Linder Servia because that's what his last name was. So that's what everything is now. It's under Linder Servia's control. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like the king's promise, he like promises people like the reason why he got them to like fight for him was because he was going to find them this new continent, this new land where everyone could be like prosperous and happy, which didn't happen. And so it's supposed to be like a story of like inspiration, but it's more like about the leader turning to madness, right? So he let the power get to him, and he instead of doing what was best for his people, he let the power corrupt him.
Himself. Yes. So then So that's Linder Servia. That's how we got to Linder Servia. Then we learn about the history of salts,
Which is where Cassandra's from.
which is where Cassandra's from. So Edward was able to conquer Hordelin and Muddin, but he couldn't conquer salts because it's like really mountainous there.
It's far away.
It's far away.
I
Yeah,
thought of
and
it
cold.
like Winterfell in Game of
Yes.
Thrones. Like it's
Yes. So
way
that's
up
the
north.
north.
Yeah.
And so Edward wasn't able to conquer that like during his lifetime.
Yes.
And no one has. That's right. They like salt set up a border, and that's why there's like the alliance between Linder Serbia and Salts. So, and then we also learn about Edward's son, well, Edward's grandson, I guess, who is still the king of Linder Serbia, Alberforth. He's like, okay, you know what? Enough of this like shenanigans. We need to find this new continent for our people. And I'm pretty sure the Salts people know how to get to this new continent by sea. So he captures and kidnaps the princess of Salts, and he says like to the king of Salts, like, I'll give your daughter back if you just tell me where this new continent is. And the king of Salts is like, just keep her and marry her, and we don't need to fight. and then like Aberforth is like, okay, like I'll take you up on that, and she'll just like tell me where it is like once we're married. So like, and she was like a child at the time. He just spends his time like still conquering the lands and like tightening the grip on the other places. And then I think they fall in love.
They do.
Something like that. Yes.
Yeah. They do end up having like a loving relationship.
Yes. And they have a child, Joan. And what happens to Joan, Liza?
So she just has her own island?
No, she had to flee because
I didn't get it.
Yes. So Aberforth's brother
Yeah.
was like super jealous that Harold, like, because he wasn't king. I feel like there's foreshadowing with this story and like the current like story. So Harold's like, okay, you guys only had a daughter, like I want to be in charge. So Harold starts spreading all these rumors about Alberforth. So like people are starting to distrust the king, and then Harold raises his own army and kills the king and the queen. And then Joan flees to an island.
The daughter,
Princess
yeah.
Joan, yes. And then she later conquers the island and calls it Isle of Joan.
Which is where all the future queens go to. Like, it's like their safe haven. Like, they can go there and do whatever they want, have bastard children. It's like their
It's where the ladies go and hang out. Sounds like a great place.
But this made me think that, like, everyone's very inbred if the Salts people have already married the Linder Servians, which I'm like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
That was all that I was thinking with that. I'm like, okay, everyone's need to spread out a little more. Anyways.
Yes. So that's like kind of the history. That's what we know. And these people are like the great grandparents of the current people, basically.
Yes. And then, all right, so Henry is in how do you say it?
Hordelin.
He's there with his army that he raised to fight the rebels. His cousin Marcus is also there. He's the one, he's an earl. He's supposed to be in charge of these lands, but he's having trouble maintaining them. So Henry has to come in and save the day. And Henry is like, I have an idea. We're going to go in the middle of the night and just slaughter everyone in their sleep. And Marcus is like, maybe not. That sounds like kind of awful. Like,
these are war crimes. Like, we can't do that. And Henry's
this is
like,
not legal.
I'm gonna be the king, so like we're doing
I'm doing what I want. Henry gets what he wants, so that is what happens. They sneak in the middle of the night and just slaughter the rebels. And the leader of the rebels is like, hey man, not cool. And Henry's like, don't care. Cuts off his head and just like is dangling this man's head. And his son is like, hiding in the shadows watching, and he's
Yeah, the
like,
son of like the
"Eh."
Hordelin leader. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought this part of the book was like kind of fun. Like I don't read a lot of like books where there's like battles. It kind of reminded me of like Game of Thrones or like Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings a little bit. So it was fun. And well, not really fun for the people who got slaughtered, but it was different kind of reading that I'm used to. But
They
yeah,
win,
so they
obviously.
win. Mm-hmm. Yes,
But
they do
then,
win.
and like Marcus is like, okay, I think you can go home now. And he's like, no, I am staying because the rebels might come back,
Yes. Yeah, so
like
they know that there's
retaliate.
like a couple people left, but Marcus is like, I think we're good. Like, we got these guys. And Henry's like, nope, I'm staying because I'm avoiding a letter that was sent to me from the castle that is the news of my child, basically. Cassandra learns that she's pregnant with Henry's child, and she's excited and wants to send him the news, and Henry's not excited about it. And
Yeah,
basically
Marcus
like
is like, pretty
ignores
sure
the
you
letter.
want to open that. And he's like, nah.
I'm good. So yeah, Henry's like just avoiding any responsibility, basically. So yeah, and then Philip and Vivian show up to like the like campsite.
Battlefield. Yeah.
Yes, which was kind of interesting. I was like, whoa, like where these two are like all over the place. So they come to camp and they're like, Henry, we need to talk. Like Vivian's pregnant. Like and Philip's like, I want to marry her.
Dad won't
And
bless
yeah,
us, will you?
yeah. And Henry's like, no, like screw you.
No.
I hate you. They're
Not
so
only
awful.
that, I will not bless your union. I will also take your, what is he? He's
Title.
your
So
title,
he's the Duke of Saint
Cast.
Christia, which is where they're all from, though, like their original motherland. And
Yes.
Philip's like, what the heck? Like, wow, I didn't think you were going to go that far. And then you did. So, yeah, so then, like, after that, like, Philip leaves and he and Richard
They
meet
flee
up again.
because Henry sends the guards after them, basically.
Yeah, basically, he's like, leave now or I'll kill you. So then Philip and Richard Cunningham meet up after that, and Philip's like, I'm ready to do this now.
Let's kill him
kind
right
of
now.
thing. We're gonna kill
I'm
him.
ready.
And Richard's like, I need more time, but like
Yeah.
we'll do this thing.
Because Philip wants to kill both Henry and Cassandra. I thought it was hilarious. Vivian's like, why do you hate your brother so much? She's just like,
Yeah, that's
because I mean, she's evil, but like not that evil. She's like, I don't get
Mhm.
it. Why do you want to kill him? Like, we don't have to necessarily kill him. And he's just like, I just hate him. He was born before me.
Yeah.
Like, had I been burned first, like all of this would be mine, basically.
Yeah. Yes. So and then while Philip and Vivian are like leaving the camp, like Philip's like trying to start spreading rumors, like he's like Henry's just as mad as the king,
Yeah.
like don't trust him. He's trying to like start those rumors and like murmurings. So yeah.
Yeah. And Richard was also like, no, and we cannot kill Cassandra because then that would start a war with Salt.
With the Salts people, which we like cannot do right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's like, please be patient. Don't kill anyone until I tell you, like, we are ready to do this.
Yeah. And then so where we got to where it ended was Richard then goes and talks to the son of the Hordelin leader who like just watched his father get his head chopped off by Henry. And Richard's like, let's work together. And Matthew's like, okay.
This was my favorite part. Because so Matthew, his idea was like, okay, we're going to come in the middle of the night and get Henry back. And so they're sneaking, but then Henry's army sees that they're coming. And so they leave camp and hide in the woods. And then Matthew's army like goes in like the town. He's like, where is everyone? And they're like, I don't know. And then they just like sit down and eat their food. Like sleep in like their nice beds. And they're like, it's the best food I've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was funny. Yes. Oh, the battles of war. Yes. So yeah, that's kind of where things leave off.
Richard Cunningham is stirring all the pots.
Yes. Yeah, what do you think of Henry?
Henry is he's very moody, which I like can understand. Like he needs his personal space and how he goes about it, I don't think is right. He like
Yeah.
alienates himself, I think, from the people who actually like him, like his wife, like his advisor Jared, like his brother. Like he's making his life harder than it needs to be, and like
Mm-hmm.
but that yeah, and he's also like a little obsessive with like this like he like thinks he needs to he's trying to like uphold like this tradition that all the
The
other kings
king's
have.
promise,
Yes,
yes.
of
So he's
finding
trying
this
to
land,
find this land and has made no progress.
deliver on that, which like I think he's losing sight of what the people actually want, because like the people are like, I don't really care about this land anymore. We just are like not happy with the current situation, and finding
Yeah.
some new land isn't going to like fix that. So
Mm-hmm.
he's like a little delulu.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. So what are some of your predictions based on what we know so far?
So I do think Henry is going to be very upset when he finds out that Cassandra knows that he has bastard children, or no, bastard siblings. That'd be great. Anyway, no. So I think he'll be mad at Cassandra that she was withholding secrets from him. And so he's going to like alienate himself even more from her. He's also going to be mad at Jared for like spreading this information that he told to like not tell anyone. And so he's going to alienate himself from Jared. I think Jared and Cassandra are going to, yeah, I think
Together?
kind of work together, because I think Cassandra's going to be smart and figure out Richard Cunningham is up to something. But I don't know. Jared could be in on it. We don't know. We don't know where
Yeah, I
Jared
think
lies.
Jared's super suspicious. I don't
We
know.
don't
I can't
know,
tell what
like,
side he's on.
yes.
Like if he's like pro Henry or not pro Henry. You know, like which side is he on? It is not clear. But I don't think Jared like likes Richard, his brother, very much. Is the vibe. I'm kidding. So
Yeah.
it's hard to tell. But yeah, I think something is up with Jared. I think that Cassandra is going to end up fleeing to the Isle of Joan with her child and meet the family. That's what I
I think
think is
that
going to
was
happen.
that was a good call. I agree with that. And then I think she's going to send a letter to her brother and be like, "Hey, you told me only to write with you when I'm in danger. I'm in danger. I am stuck on this island. Send me your army." And cuz I think what's going to happen is like, so relating this to Game of Thrones, Cassandra's like, she basically is from Winterfell. She's marrying like a Lancaster. She's get thrown in this crazy family with all this like crazy drama and all this like political shenanigans. And like she's gonna have to become Cersei and like, queen of everything. She's gonna have to really step up because her husband's crazy. And she takes like the throne and all of Linderservia.
I see. So you think she's more of a Cersei? I was getting more of like a what are the red-haired
I don't
family
remember.
vibes? The Starks.
Yeah, like
I was getting like that
not Sansa,
vibe.
but the other.
Yeah.
But I think she's gonna have to be a
Sansa.
Cersei, yeah,
Yeah.
to take over everything, because she's gonna have to deal with Philip and Vivian, and she also has to deal with her crazy husband and all these other people who are like trying to take over, and so she's gonna have to like go full dictator and make the whole world hate her. No.
Okay. So she's gonna pull a
No, I mean
Joan.
everyone's gonna love her because she's like,
She's gonna save the world.
yeah, she's gonna save it all.
Hey. I mean, and then Cassandra definitely knows some stuff. I think from like her just being from Salts. Like the Salts people know where this land is. Or they know the secrets. So I think she was like taught it as a child, probably, like in like their family history kind of thing. So I think she and Henry are going to figure out some stuff together. Or she might figure it out on her own. But yeah. So
We
we
will
shall
find out.
see. We shall see. I'm excited. So
Yes.
yeah. Cool. Anything else about the book we want to chat about?
No, I think we hit the main points.
Great. So then next episode we're going to be recapping and going through everything in the second half of the book and then also talking with the author, right?
Yes, Christine will be joining us.
Yay!
And so we're
I'm
going to ask
excited.
some questions and yeah.
Cool. Cool. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be very fun.
Thanks so much for listening to episode 25. Leave us a comment or review. We'd love to connect with you. You can find us on Instagram at Let's Get Cozy Book Club or YouTube. Join us in 2 weeks where we discuss the rest of The King's Promise by Christine Kannapel. Until then, stay cozy.
Cozy. You just have the most serious face
You just
ever.
can't do it.